Hi guys, welcome to the chat. And today we are going to talk about cloud pages. And I know most of you guys are excited. I have already questions coming in from my end. So, just I wanted to give a do a event for cloud pages. I have both the co-founders here, Usman and as well as Shoaib here. They will be sharing a bit about their cloud pages product and also their side of the story, and we'll be having a demonstration of the entire process of creating the server, deploying the WordPress, installing all the good stuff. And finally, if you have any questions, leave me. We will have a final question and answer session at the end. So you guys can automatically ask this. And if you anyone who want to show their name in the restream, just make sure to click on the link on the video description on the Facebook post or in YouTube. You can give a permission there. I can see your name in restream chat as well. Okay, without further ado, first let's welcome both Usman and Shoaib. Thank you so much for agreeing me to do this event. Just give some background information about cloud pages and introduce yourself also, like what are your experiences and what is the reason for doing this and what is your vision, so viewers can understand a bit more about it. Take it away.
Thank you, Elston. Thank you for inviting us. My name is Usman Nasir, and I am the lead developer of CloudPages, and I am also the developer of CyberPanel, and we started CyberPanel back in 2017. And after 4 years of continuous feedback from CyberPanel community, we thought that CyberPanel is slightly complex for newbies, new users to deploy WordPress. For sysadmins and experienced DevOps guys, it was easy. So we thought, let's do something simple and lightweight, so that it will be easy for most of the web designers, freelancers, guys to deploy WordPress sites.
No, first, for beginners, just can you explain briefly what is server panel? Because I think if you guys and for viewers who are not in hosting environment, first they don't understand what is that product itself. So moving forward from that, if you can give some background on that, that will be helpful.
Yes, mostly most of the freelancers and web agency people are using cPanel based shared hosting. Even you might be using shared hosting. But with cloud pages, you need a cloud server from DigitalOcean, AWS, UpCloud, any cloud provider. You can get a server from cloud providers and deploy cloud pages on top of it with just one command. And cloud installation script will install stack, and then you can easily manage and deploy WordPress sites. But the main thing is that you need a cloud server. Cloud server can also be installed on bare metal servers. For example, if you get a dedicated server for Hetzner, you can install cloud pages on that too.
So basically, you are not providing hosting, you are just providing a software to manage servers which we personally buy from AWS, DigitalOcean, or any server provider. That's it, right?
Yes, we are not exactly providing hosting services. Like the pure hosting companies, they also provide you with servers or shared hosting accounts. We are just providing software services.
Okay,
We,
so
we are
you are focused on WordPress, and your competitors are someone like GridPaint, Server, Avatar, Bunny Shell, or is there any difference between all of those and your service?
Yes, Run Cloud, like Run Cloud, GridPaint, Server Avatar. Recently, I heard that GridPaint have integrated OpenLiteSpeed. It's in beta, I think. But Cloud Pages have support for both Lightspeed Enterprise and OpenLiteSpeed.
So all these are your panel competitors, and you are not providing hosting services.
No,
Okay.
they're not.
And also, can you share a bit about your background information? Like, what is your experiences when it comes to hosting and past experiences? So, because it will help for us from a buyer's perspective to get much more informed decision when we are making on that.
Yes, exactly. I have been in hosting industry for like since early 2009.
Hmm.
And when I completed my graduation back in 2017, I started CyberPanel. And since then, I have extensive experience with LiteSpeed servers for almost 4 years now. So these are my strong areas, the Lightspeed servers. And you know that when I joined Lightspeed back in 2017, Lightspeed market share was around 2.7. And right now, the global market share for Lightspeed is almost 10. So lots of guys are shifting to Lightspeed servers. Even Hostinger, Namecheap, even they are shifting to Lightspeed servers.
So my hosting also like over 80 percentages currently on Lightspeed. So I know that everyone is converting to that because it makes the hosting much more performance wise optimal, and also we can use their Lightspeed caching plugin, especially if you are on WordPress, to have a quick caching solutions. We don't need to have premium solution, and it works good. So what was your involvement, or like what was your progression when you have said you are working with Lightspeed? Were you also part of the development of the plugin, or what sort of nature is that?
No, no. The Lightspeed Cache plugin, the main developer for the plugin is Hey.
Hmm.
He manages that part. I was the developer for CyberPanel.
Okay.
So different guys in the team are managing different products.
Okay, so what you were doing was CyberPanel, which was an open source panel software similar to cPanel, which integrate with Lightspeed and helps you to manage your hosting for you. Correct?
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, so CloudPage is much more a simplified version of CyberPanel, which helps users to have a user-friendly interface compared to a technical interface to help the hosting
Exactly.
service. Okay,
Yes.
cool. Now I understand the basic insight. Now you can go ahead directly with the demonstration you guys want to do right now. And if there's any question, I will note down and we will have a question. If there's anything immediate, I will interrupt you guys and ask it, or we can cover those questions at the end right now.
Sure. For demonstration, I would invite Shoaib. So I will close my mic and
Hello, else.
Thank you so much, Shoaib, for doing this.
Moving toward live demonstration, we will start from the deploying a server on AWS, and then we will go to the deploying creating a project in Cloud Pages, and then deploying a server in how to deploy a server in Cloud Pages. Then we will move forward toward the deploying a WordPress installation on Cloud Pages. I assume that you have a AWS account and you are logged in into it. Deploy a instance in AWS is we already have a blog on it, but deploying a instance on AWS is a very easy process. To deploy a instance on AWS, you just have to log into your AWS account, and once you have logged in, here you can see there is a EC2 instance button. Press this button. This will navigate you toward the instance screen. On instance screen, you can see your already deployed servers, and when you want to deploy a new server, just click on the this yellow launch instance button. When you click on the launch instance button, it will move you toward the next step. What you have to do in next step, choose an Amazon machine image. Here you have to choose your OS for the server, for the instance. In case of Cloud Pages, you must go with the Ubuntu 2004 So as in CloudPages, we only focused and we only allow cloud to deploy CloudPages on Ubuntu 20.04 server. Select Ubuntu 20.04 and move forward. In the next step, from here you have to select any of plane, like I can say any plane, for which instance, for which specification of server you want to go. Like there is a tier which is free, I want to go with this, but if you want to go with any other, like you want 2 CPU and 4 RAM, then you can go with T2 medium. If you have an heavy side and you want to go with any large any server instance with most resources, you can select any of these. I choose the free one.
And also, sorry to interrupt, can we upgrade to a bigger server after some time in case if we want, if we see that resources are not enough?
Yes, AWS allow you to upgrade your server anytime.
Okay. And one more question, does it work with Lightsail also?
Yes, it will work.
Okay, thank you. Continue.
Now you can see here next configuration instance detail. Press this button. In the next screen, you can see these following information on your screen. You can, if you want to deploy 2 or 3 or more instances, like you want to a number of instances with the same specification, then you change the number here and change all information according to the requirement. But if you want to only one deployment, then leave all information as default and click on the add storage button. In add storage, here you have to choose the size of your disk which you want to use for the server. Default size is 8 GB. Here you can increase size up to any size you want. Like I will go with the 18 GB.
This is also changeable on a later stage, right?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
thank you.
Of course. Leave in add tags, leave it as default. If you want to add any tag, you can add in this. In the next step, you have to, this is the important step to deploy any service like CloudPages. When you talk about the CloudPages, this is the most important step to understand and to set up. Why? Because in the default configuration of AWS, you have only port 22 enabled. But when you want to deploy CloudPages on your AWS instance, you have to enable some other ports also, like port 80, 443 in TCP and UDP, and dedicated port for CloudPages, that is 2083. Now you have to add all these ports in this step. Click on the add rule button and you can see here custom TCP. Add the port 80 with 0.0.0/0 value, so it will accessible for all the IPs. Then add another custom TCP port 443, and also it is also accessible for the all IPs. Then add a custom TCP port 2083 that is dedicatedly for the CloudPages installation. And in the last port that we need is the custom UDP, that is 443. Right? After adding these ports, click on the review and launch button. You can see what we get. We have a Ubuntu 20.04 server with the plane that is tier free one. We have these ports enabled. If you want any change, you can change from edit security group, edit instance type, edit AMI, all these options are available. You can edit anything that you did in the configuration from this screen. All information is okay for my deployment. So I will go toward the launch. Here you have to select the key using which you can access the SSH client. If you already have added any key, like I already have a key, have my key in this account, so I choose an existing key pair. When you choose an existing key pair, all the existing added key are available here. Like this is my key. Then say, acknowledge this statement and launch the instance.
And one question, all the instructions which we are saying right now is specific to Amazon EC2. If it's for other hosting providers, we just need to follow their guides on creating the servers, right?
Yes, Anton. We have a blog for the Hetzner, for DigitalOcean, and AWS as well on our blog section on CloudPages. I will share that link later in the comment section.
Got it. Thank you.
Now you can see your instance are now launching. We can go to view the instance. When we view the instance, here is the instance that we just launched. We can copy IP from here and go to any client we are using. Like I am using the Bitwise. You can put any SSH client you are comfortable with. The default username for Ubuntu, AWS set it as Ubuntu. You have to provide the username as Ubuntu. Select the public key as initial method. Port will be 22. Public key.
Yeah.
Okay. Now going toward the toward the cloud pages. I assume that
you just now logged into the SSS client, and the next process is going to start from CloudPages. We don't need to do anything else there right now.
Yes. This is the part, but have to done on the AWS side. Now we have to do two steps. First, we have to create a project, and then we will go toward the deployment of a server. In that step, we need the AWS access that we did in this step, that we access the SSH client on the Bitwise.
Yeah, continue.
Okay, I assume that you have a CloudPages account. If you don't have you can create it with few clicks. You can register it. I already have some projects in my account, but let's start from the how to create a project. Creating a project in CloudPages is just a 2-click process, I must say. Here you can see on my dashboard, when you logged in, you can see this dashboard. Here on my dashboard, you can see the create new project button on the top bar. Here it is, create new project button. Click on this create. Let me show you where is the button. This is the create new project button.
Got
it. Click on this create new project button. On the next screen, what you have to do, you have to provide a project name. Any project name will be anything you want to give the name, anything that, like I give it AWS project. You can provide any name according to your choice. Then click on the create project button, this green create project button. Once you click here, the project is created. Now, basically, many people ask, what is a project in? What is a project? A project is a container under which you can manage your services, your billing, you can see your project logs, your account logs, your subscription invoices, and all these. So basically, project is a container under which you can manage your thing. Like, I created a project, and here you can see there all option deploys, payment method, plane, all this. In this project, you can see no plane is active, plane is not selected. So I want to go with the project that I have this project Shoaib that have an activated plane of agency plane. Now we are going toward the deployment of server. How we can deploy a server with CloudPages. To deploy a server with CloudPages, here you can see under the server section, here is a deploy server button. Just click on this deploy server button, and you here on the deploy server button screen, you can see some instruction. Before going to deploying a server, adding information and deploying a server, must read this instruction. What we did in CloudPages, we tried to deliver and provide instruction on every screen, so it is easy for user to deploy. Like in this installation notes, you can see we in first we write that your server must be a VPS or a dedicated. As some people ask, can we install CloudPages on the shared server? No, you can't install CloudPages on the shared server. You must have a VPS or a dedicated server to use CloudPages. And what the second part, your provider didn't matter which provider you are going to use. Like you want to go with AWS, DigitalOcean, Hasner, any provider you want to go. But the condition that matter, the issue that matter, that is Ubuntu 20.04 operating system. You must have Ubuntu 20.04 operating system on your server to install and set up the CloudPages. More you don't if you have LAMP, then CloudPages will not run on that. Also, I show how to enable the ports in the AWS firewall. And if you are going with any other provider like DigitalOcean, Hadner, and all these, you must have these ports enabled. If any of these port is not enabled, you may got the issue in the installation or any while deploying WordPress. In any step you got the. Now, what we need to do in this step, we have to provide some information. Like as Usman sir already mentioned, you can go with LiteSpeed Enterprise and also with OpenLiteSpeed. OpenLiteSpeed is the free version of LiteSpeed. If you have a LiteSpeed Enterprise license, then you can go with LiteSpeed Enterprise. If you don't have LiteSpeed Enterprise, you can go with the free variant, that is OpenLiteSpeed. I will in this demo, I will go with the OpenLiteSpeed. Here you have to write the name of your server. You can give any name according to your choice. Here you have to add the IP. My IP is, this is my IP to deploy CloudPages. After providing all this information, just click on the deploy server button. When you click on the deploy server button, this will navigate you toward this screen. Here we also mentioned all the instruction, like what you have to do. First, you must have login into any SSH client as a root. As I am logged in this client as a Ubuntu. Okay. Let me. I will change this to the root. So the first requirement is completed. Then what you have to do, copy this whole command. The command given here. Copy this command and run this script to start. I am logged in as root and paste this command. Now your installation started. This process will take 5 to 10 minutes as it have to install LightSpeed, MariaDB and all the requirement that is required for the CloudPages installation. Now, unless this installation completed, I will go toward the server that I already set up for this demo. When you click on the list server button, you can see all server you have deployed in your project. Like this AWS server, I already deployed this AWS server for the demo. You can see, but you can see in the dashboard, server dashboard, the first section you can see all resource usage. This resource usage is only available in agency plan. You can see CPU usage, RAM usage, disk usage. Then you have a lot of option in this sidebar, like you can create a website and let me clear some confusion about create a website and deploy a WordPress website. What create a website did, through create website, you can create a website and host any PHP based website. Like this is not, create website is not about the deploying a WordPress site. This is creating a simple site and then use any and then host or use any PHP based website under that. To deploy a WordPress site.
So sorry to interrupt. So with Cloud Pages, you are not only supporting WordPress, but are there any PHP based website or application also supported?
Yes, totally. This is the case. Some people think that Cloud Pages only manage the WordPress site. No, Cloud Pages can manage all PHP based website.
Got it. Thank you.
Then if you want to go with any custom PHP based site, then you can create website. You can go with the create website option. If you want to, for this tutorial, also for this demo, we will go to dedicatedly toward the WordPress deployment. So we will click on this WordPress manager button. When we click on this WordPress manager button, what we can see here is a button deploy WordPress. Click on this deploy WordPress button. Here installation configuration screen is in front of you. In this screen, you have to provide some detail. Like in the WordPress, you must have a title for your blog or your website. Like we can say AWS site. In the next, you have to provide for which domain you want to install.
So where do we set up name, servers, records for this domain, and does it have a temporary website feature right now?
You have to set up. I am setting a temporary domain, but you have to set up a name, server, record. You can do it after creating or before creating. First, you can create a website here and then set name, server, record, IP. The IP I use to deploy the server, that you can use in any external, like you can add the Cloudflare to manage your name server, your DNS.
And also, does it have a temporary domain, like a staging site, like what we get with Bunny Shell or GridPaint, something like that?
No, we do not provide the temporary domain.
Okay, and so no plans on the future also?
In future, maybe, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Like here, I am going to deploy a WordPress site on AWS 2.cloudpages.cloud. In the next, you have to select any WP version, WordPress version. Maybe you want to transfer your site from any other server, and you want to go with some old PHP version like 5.5.5 or 5.6.4 or any other. Like in this tutorial, I will go with the 5.7.2. In the next section, the plugin and theme, what CloudPages did, if you want a simple WordPress installation with the LiteSpeed cache plugin, you can go with the first option. We have different options, like some people prefer the classical editor. So they can install WordPress with LiteSpeed and classical editor. And if someone want to start a WooCommerce store, then he can install WordPress, LiteSpeed plus WooCommerce. WooCommerce, these all things will be pre-set up when you log into your WP-Admin dashboard. Like I will go with the basic one, WordPress plus LiteSpeed cache. In the next section, you have to provide detail for admin login, for WP admin login. Like you have to provide a username, like I provide admin. And then you have to provide a email. Then you have to set up a password for the domain for the WP login. CloudPages also enable you to use automatic updates. Like you can enable, disable plugin, themes, and code updates. In this section, you can see automatic updates. This option allows you to enable or disable core updates for WP WordPress. Like if you want to enable minor and security update for core WordPress, then you can choose this option. If you want to do all updates, like WP version and all, then you can choose the third option. Or if you want to do all things manual, maybe you have some editor or something customized, so you want to do the manual updates, then you can disable this option. Also, in the case of plugin, you can enable or disable automatic updates, and like in the case of theme. After providing all these installation configuration, just click on the deploy WordPress button, and here you can see a message deploy started. During this, you can see this process will take few minutes. That this will obtaining an SSL, and then.
So does it automatically install Let's Encrypt SSL for every WordPress installation?
Yes. But in some cases, what Let's did, when you do not have already set up the name server, as you mentioned, then Let's Encrypt make an issue. Let's Encrypt search for the name server where the name server are set. If you already name server already not set, then you have to issue the SSL from the CloudPages after setting up the name server.
Okay, and also does it support external SSL certificates if you want, like
Yes.
Komodo, everything?
Yes, you can issue any type of external, like for some of our clients, they are using free SSL, like zero SSL.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay, after the deployment done, here you can see the WordPress Manager dashboard. In WordPress Manager dashboard, there are 4 tabs: Journal, Plugin, Themes, and Staging. In the Journal tab, you can see here are 4 buttons and some information. But you can do from here, you can enable or disable LiteSpeed cache plugin with this toggle button. This is just a one. You can see here the prompt is changed, applied, and you can see after logging to WP-Admin dashboard, you can also see after doing this, you can enable or disable LiteSpeed cache button. Some time any issue happened with the on the WordPress level, then you need to enable the WordPress debugging mode. You have to go to WP configuration, WP config file, and then make the debug true. You can do directly from here. Here you can see debugging. Only press this toggle button and the debug on. This is an important of search engine indexing. Sometimes you create a that it will index in search engine. So you can disable the search engine indexing. Also, sometimes you are working with some kind of things on the server site, and you want to add the site on maintenance mode. Just click on this toggle button, and this will automatically shift your site to the maintenance mode. We are
So when the visitor
what this,
visits, sorry to interrupt. So when the visitors
yes,
visit the site during the maintenance mode activated, they will see some HTML template which says it's on maintenance, right?
yes, yes. Like a few days back, Alexa was on maintenance. There was a message displayed that the site is on maintenance from this time period to then. Maintenance template is totally up to you what you want to display during the maintenance time.
So how do we edit those maintenance? Is there options available?
Uh, from the cloud pages, we don't have an option, but we you can see some blogs on how to edit the maintenance. Like in themes, in some themes that you developed or some get from any like theme forest or some, they already have some maintenance templates,
Okay, thank you. So
and
we can
they already,
customize the templates of the default page using WordPress or theme solutions.
yes, like they already, you got any theme from theme forest, they in their documentation, they gave the path of template maintenance mode templates.
Okay,
You can edit those.
thank you.
Using this open button, you can open your site directly. What this file manager do, we have also have a file manager in cloud pages. From this file manager, here you can see what you have in this domain directory. You can create any folder, you can create a new file, compress file, extract file. To upload, we use SFTP mode. We have a documentation about the how to upload on cloud pages. You can check in our knowledge base section. We also have a Git manager.
And also, can we change the PHP version? Currently, does it working right now?
Yes, you can change your PHP version for your website. In the next step, you can see plugin. In this section, you can update any plugin, you can enable or disable any plugin, and you can delete any plugin. Or if you want to delete all, then select all and delete those all. Same in the case of theme. You can update any theme, you can enable one theme and disable another theme. In the last step, you can here say one-click staging. What one-click staging does, you just have to provide name and a domain for the staging, and after that just click on create now. This process will also take few minutes, as it have to create a new domain, then copy all the database and all things from the main domain. This will create your staging domain. Now all done from my side to deploy a WordPress and deploy server, create project. Over to Usman sir to carry on.
So there are some questions which you can see. First one I want to ask immediately, like, is there any automatic backups or any way to backup websites directly from Cloud Pages itself?
Yes, we are going to bring first. Right now there is no backup feature. We are going to first bring the local backup and store feature, and after that we are going to bring remote backups. It
Okay.
it might be Google Drive or AWS S3 backups.
And one more question is that we see when it comes to hosting, firewalls, security, everything is a important concern for the website. So what are the procedures or steps you have taken in Cloud Pages to ensure that?
During Cloud Pages deployment, only the required ports are opened. For example, port 80, 443 TCP and 443 UDP, and 2083 port is only open for our main agent. And apart from that, you can also use bubble wrap and mod security too. And later I want to discuss something about mod security because sometimes it create a problem with some WordPress sites.
Okay.
False tools.
Do you also want to share a bit about your roadmap while I go through the questions? And what are your immediate roadmap and long-term roadmap?
Yes, we can also share the roadmap URL on the comment section as well. And just recently, we released the PHP manager, configuration managers. It was not inside Cloud Pages when we released on AppSumo, and we released this yesterday. And moving forward, we have like one click fix permissions, restart server from Cloud Pages, and for a complete roadmap, we will later share the link below.
Okay. One more question. If I think the answer is no, because the hosting is on a different server. You are not hosting the website, but just to clarify, will the website will go down if I host the site on Cloud Pages? I think it's due to the server, right?
Sorry, the question from Gautam.
Yeah, if you, I think is asking is will Cloud Pages will have any reasons to cause a website to go down? Is there any possibilities?
I think he asked the question in a funny way because our name is Cloud Pages. So no, the site will not go down when it's ready.
Okay, I misunderstood it. Okay. Uh, Let me go through some of the others also. This is another one. Like Chit said that VPS can be shared too. Like most of us use shared VPS from DigitalOcean Vultr. So we can install those kind of Cloud Pages on those kind of VPS, right?
Of course, only you cannot install on a shared hosting server where there is a cPanel or CyberPanel or even direct admin or any other. Even if you have installed MariaDB manually on your server, for example, you got a server from DigitalOcean and you have installed MariaDB manually on it, then you can't install Cloud Pages.
Okay, cool.
It have to be a clean server with clean OS.
And this is one of the important point I wanted to highlight you guys, because I also was misunderstood and thinking that Cloud Pages is solely for WordPress. So if you guys can highlight it somewhere on your website, it will be much more advantageous, because most people still think it's only for WordPress. Even I misinformed some of my readers yesterday. So you guys need to highlight that.
Yes, I would like to mention one thing here that from Cloud Pages or even with any other server control panel, uh, theoretically you can install any PHP based application, because you know that WordPress is also PHP based. So we focused on WordPress because we have a dedicated WordPress manager inside Cloud Pages. But if you want to deploy a normal PHP set, that's also possible. But our support team is mostly trained with WordPress. So that's why we kept it WordPress focused.
Okay, cool. And also, is there any possible way to simplify the WordPress installation or deploy installer like Softac, which we get on shared hosting, something like that? Is there any plans like that?
Our WordPress installer is like the alternative for Softaculous. Like you don't have to install Softaculous to install WordPress, because in Cloud Pages there is already a one-click installer for WordPress. You just have to provide the details and WordPress is ready.
Okay. Is there an option for multi-site using subdomains?
Not right now. But you can do that manually. You have to do some configurations at vhost level.
So we create subdomain and point to the address and use that subdomain, something which Shoaib showed. You can do it manually. But is there any plans to do something within Cloud Pages in future?
Yes, I was thinking about it, but right now it's not on our roadmap. But
Okay.
maybe we can do it soon.
Another question. How do I point my domain name to this VP instance? Are the name servers or point, I think it's IP address, right?
Cloud pages do not provide DNS server. For DNS, you can either use Cloudflare.
Cloud.
You can use Cloudflare, or there are other DNS provider as well. I think DigitalOcean also provide DNS hosting. You can use Cloudflare, point name servers to Cloudflare, and then add an A record. And I would also like to mention one more thing, that before deploying WordPress, it is better that you create a record before deploying WordPress. Otherwise, you will get a self-signed SSL, and that creates confusion for many users when they get self-signed SSL.
So to answer that, you just need to create a record inside your domain register or any name a DNS manager, and you can connect it to Cloud Pages.
Yes, you just have to point the A record and then go ahead with deploying the WordPress site. But later we have plans for integrating Cloudflare.
Okay.
With
Is there a way to access PHPMyAdmin now?
We have created a guide to manually install PHPMyAdmin, but I am planning to provide a one-click PHPMyAdmin installer. But we have a guide for it.
For the demo site we created, is there a way to access the MySQL or MariaDB where it was installed? Is there a possible way to access it?
During WordPress deployment, the MySQL database is automatically created on the backend. So I think he is asking that do we need to manually create that? No, it will be automatically created on the backend, and when you are in the CloudPages dashboard, you can see that database when you click on list databases.
And is it possible to view the database also?
You can use PHPMyAdmin, install basically PHPMyAdmin is also a PHP based app. So you can create a website, upload PHPMyAdmin, and use the database login details to access the database. You can also access the database from command line as well.
So in future, you will be doing much more user-friendly way to view the PHPMyAdmin for the users.
Yes.
Okay.
We will put one-click installer for PHPMyAdmin.
Another question. Sarang is very good with technical, not like me. Does Cloud Pages creates work memory automatically upon deployment, or do we have to create it with CLI? I'm not sure what it is. Maybe you guys can understand it.
No, Cloud Pages does not alter with the swap memory, but you can create manually. We have that in the CyberPanel code base.
Any reason you didn't include it here?
We will slowly introduce more and more features. We don't do. It was just our initial version. So
it's in the roadmap.
Not in our current roadmap, but in future we may do it.
Okay. There was an appreciation comment also. You guys been answering all the questions if everyone had. Another question: can we install Nginx or Apache with Cloud Pages?
No. That's a big no for Cloud Pages. Cloud Pages is only LiteSpeed servers.
Okay. Another question: what is the resource consumption of the panel itself?
Yes, that I was mentioning earlier, that it can even be installed on a 512 MB RAM VPS. It's really minimal.
So when it's running, what is the space does it take on memory estimations?
If I would be honest, I don't know the exact RAM usage right now, but later I can see and share with you.
Okay, and one more question I personally added. Rather than creating the website and doing it, can we also automatically migrate another website from a different hosting services with this Cloud Pages? If yes, what kind of process is it?
We have right now we have created two guides. If you are moving WordPress site, you can use all-in-one migration plugin, and there is another plugin, Migrate Guru. We have created a detailed guide on how you can move your site to CloudPages using those plugins.
And another question. Can we safely host production servers on CloudPages? I'm worried that CloudPages is still beta or even alpha during the demo earlier.
Of course, you can. You can very much host your production sites on CloudPages. There is no issue. I would like to mention one thing. I have also noted it down on by. I was noting down while you guys was talking. There was one issue regarding mod security. We had a client and his site was getting down. Most of the time, mod security create issues with some plugins. For example, there is a mod security rule that is conflicting with WordPress plugin, and then the problem arises. And then people think that it has something to do with CloudPages, but you have to manually you have to track down that file that is creating conflict, or that exact rule that is creating conflict with the plugin or the WordPress site, and you have to disable that file or that specific mod security rule, and then it will be. Mod security is known for such issues, so you have to be careful in that aspect.
Okay, and finally, I think you already answered this question, but I'm getting it again. You have planned for auto backup to remote destinations also, right?
Yes, we are thinking about Google Drive and AWS S3, because if we do AWS S3, then it can be integrated with other S3 likewise services like Blackbase, Wasabi.
Got it. Next question. What is your current status on security? Do you follow OWASP rules, ModSec rules, or status on VP hardening?
Yes, we have mod security OWSP rule sets in CloudPages. You can enable them with one click, and you can also enable or disable a certain rule files if they are conflicting with any of the plugin.
Okay. So it's already live right now.
Yes, OWASP rules are live.
Okay. Another question. Is it compatible with Oxygen Builder out of the box? I had complexity issues similar services. I think he is not referring to yours, but he has an issue with some other services. So he's asking, is CloudPages is compatible with Oxygen Builders out of the box?
The site I was talking about a moment ago, it was built on Oxygen, and it was having issues with OWASP Komodo rules. But as I was saying, that people confuse it with that it's an issue with CloudPages. But for each and every plugin, you have to see that if it is creating any issues with mod security, because OWASP rules are also open source rules, and they are made through community effort. So we have to be careful with them.
So does it work with Oxygen Builder after we edit whatever I think probably now it's working, right? The site which was on Oxygen Builder.
Yes, we had to disable some rule files, and it was fine.
Which are we able to do it ourselves, or do we need to contact you guys?
You can do it yourself as well. On inside CloudPages, there is a mod security section where you can disable or enable rules files individually. But first, you have to track down that file from the logs.
Okay. I think their backup is not yet implemented, and it's one of the more sooner on the roadmap side, I am saying, right?
Yes.
Okay. So those are the questions I can see it right now. And also the previous question, Sumit was taking that, is it possible to make the Oxygen build-up component a bit more easier for me? I think he's a non-techie like me, so he's not sure on whether it will work out of the box.
Yes, Sumit is saying that it required kind of too techy for me. So just imagine using CyberPanel, because CyberPanel has more features on the left sidebar. But people coming from shared hosting background, there may be slight learning curve. But if they get to know it, then moving forward, it's easy.
And is there any tutorial documentation on this to help users understand? Have you guys created any knowledge base on this specifically?
About the mod security issue.
Especially Oxygen Builder or mod security issues.
The issue just came today morning.
Okay, cool. So you guys will be creating in future. Okay.
You can see that we are actively adding articles to our blog. The
Okay,
knowledge
yeah, I
base.
noticed that because AWS deployment was not available, but you guys implemented it recently.
Yes, the other one is also now available.
Okay, cool. Continue on security. It's a follow-up question for the initial security question. Any native integration with WF or any antivirus solution like ClamAV or Immunify 360?
Immunify 360, last I know, they are not very good with Ubuntu 20.04. They do mention on their site that it's compatible with Ubuntu, but our experience say that it's not really good. So we will be going with some other solutions.
Do you guys already have any plans with what is the software, or you need to explore that?
The initially we did mod security, and now we will be thinking about some alternative solution. At the mod security is like do you know WordFence?
Yeah.
So mod security is kind of alternative to WordFence at the web server level. So it sits behind your WordPress, sit in front of your WordPress site. So we will definitely be looking into another solutions when we get users feedback from our early adopters.
Okay, cool.
We will be doing a Immunify 360.
Okay, cool. And also, this is a doubt, not actually a question. Why does Oxygen Builder is it WordPress theme or builder, right? It should be independent of hosting. So why does it affect the hosting if there's any problem, like is deploying the site and everything?
Look, mod security is signature based web application firewall. OWSP rules have defined sub-signatures. For example, in mod security, in Oxygen Builder, there are some requests that trigger those rules. So when those rules are triggered, that creates problem. That's at the firewall level. So for example, if you just have a basic web server, then it's fine, you can run Oxygen Builder. But if you enable mod security, it's a signature based rule, and you can always have some false positive.
Got it. Does CloudPages have GitHub integration? I think you showed it, right?
Yes, it have GitHub integration. You can attach repos from GitHub, GitLab, both of them.
Okay. Is it compatible with VP Rocket? Same issue I faced with Cloudways. Also, they said Breeze Cache plugin we have to use with Cloud. Are you supporting Redis Cache?
Redis cache can be manually installed. Right now, it can be manually installed, and there are two parts: the Redis cache daemon and the PHP extension. Both of them, the PHP extension is available in LiteSpeed repositories, and the daemon can be installed using the Ubuntu package manager. For the WP Rocket, yes, they can use WP Rocket with the CloudPages, but we would prefer that they use a LiteSpeed cache.
Got it. Is it true that ModSecurity is only available in agency plan?
Yes.
Okay. Any restrictions in CloudPages similar to CyberPanel on RAM or Cron Jobs?
Yes, that's another confusion in people's mind. There is no restriction from either CyberPanel or CloudPages. the restriction is from the LiteSpeed web server. For example, they have multiple license. They have one license, site owner license. It allows only up to 8 GB RAM. So, for example, you have a server with 16 GB RAM and you use the site owner license, then web server will not start. CyberPanel or CloudPages will continue to work, but LiteSpeed server will not start. So people think that something is wrong with CloudPages or CyberPanel, but it's actually the server limiting your resources.
Okay.
But with OpenLiteSpeed, there is no such restrictions on RAM or domains.
Those are the questions right now. Unless if you guys have any other final questions, leave me. I'll go through it. Do you want to share anything from your side before I forget something?
Lots of people were asking about LiteSpeed versus OpenLiteSpeed difference yesterday.
Me
I
too.
think that will be the most asked questions in the coming days as well. Uh, OpenLiteSpeed and LiteSpeed, the basic code base is same on the back end. Uh, but OpenLiteSpeed only support two htaccess directives. One is read-write tool and the other is read-write con. And Lightspeed Enterprise is like fully drop-in replacement for Apache. For example, you are coming from Apache background and your site is configured for Apache environment, because most of the developers, WordPress, Drupal, Joomla, they have built their sites on Apache. So when they come from Apache background and shift to OpenLiteSpeed, they face some difficulties. Even though you can make all of these things that are done through htaccess through Lightspeed web admin, but it's kind of difficult for new users. So if it's too difficult for you guys, then you can like switch to Lightspeed Enterprise. It's a direct replacement for Apache. Apart from that, there is one major difference as well, is ESI engine. OpenLiteSpeed does not have ESI engine. ESI engine is basically hole punching for that's kind of an advanced caching. So if you have a normal WordPress blog or a basic WooCommerce shop, I don't think you need ESI hole punching. But if you have, mostly it's used with Magento. Earlier it was mostly used with Magento, but right now it's also used with some WordPress sites as well with WooCommerce. But it is kind of hard to configure. So that's the major difference between Lightspeed Enterprise and OpenLiteSpeed. There are other differences as well, but they are not that major.
Okay. Do you have any other things to share? Because there are some other
Yes,
questions also.
I also wanted to mention one more thing, that while during the deployment on AWS or even Lightsail, they don't give you a static IP. So make sure that you choose elastic IP and assign that elastic IP to your instance, so that when your instance is shut down and restarted, you don't get a new IP. Because if you get a new IP, your sites will of course go down because of DNS.
So do we need to do this while deploying itself?
Yes, Amazon have an article on this, on how to assign elastic IP to their instances. Same with Lights.
So we just need to copy that IP instead of the dynamic IP we get.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
But the DigitalOcean and UpCloud, they give you default. They give you static IP by default.
Okay, cool. I need to check on that. Okay, I think we got a couple more questions also. Did we cover this? I forgot. Any restrictions on CloudPages similar to CyberPanel? Oh, no, we covered it, right? Sorry about that. Do you have any plans of bringing Cron Job Manager inside CloudPages?
That's 100% in our roadmap, because the Cron Job Manager is important.
Okay.
We will do.
Are we allowed to install unlimited servers, right? How do we manage them as CloudPages installed on each server, right? Sorry for my understanding. I think probably he's asking one project can have unlimited servers, right? Depending on the plan.
Yes, yes.
So we can also have multiple projects with different websites and everything.
Basically, cloud pages have two sides. One is server side agent and one is available at our platform. And the server side agents needs to be installed on every server, because there must be some way for us to communicate with the server. So there is a server side agent that you guys need to install. And Shoaib, in our demo we have demonstrated that how they can install that server side agent, so they can go to deployment and install that agent.
Okay, and one more thing. Agency plan details. Where can I find it? AppSumo says only one code to purchase right now.
Yes, like I was telling you before we gone live, that we were very new to this LTD community and AppSumo. So we didn't knew that people will be needing more codes. And if you may remember that we had a discussion in another group, and you was tagged by Ankit. So that was our thread, and we didn't know. But later we realized that many people are asking for more codes. So we decided that if they buy one code, they will get the freelancer plan, and if they buy two codes, they will get an upgrade to agency plan.
Okay, so once they purchased it, they need to contact the support in order to get that.
Yes, yes, because they can redeem one code automatically. For if they purchase multiple codes, then they have to contact us.
Okay, next question. How much yearly charge for the support? I think they're asking for estimation after the first year support.
We have decided that for the freelancer plan, we will be charging $50 per year moving forward, but this will be only for our lifetime deal users, because sport is the DevOps these days. DevOps guys are really costly these days, because if we start to hire interns, then our clients will be getting copy paste answers. That's not good.
So for the agency plan, then
For the agency plan, it's $100 per year.
okay. Uh, are you providing CDN? What are the price range if so?
Right now, we are not integrated with any CDN, but you can use Quick.Cloud. Do you know about Quick.Cloud? If they install LSCache plugin, they can use Quick.Cloud out of the box, because they get extra credits uh, for using Lightspeed servers.
So do you see whether can we use Lightspeed Cache plugin with Cloudflare as the best option, or something like Quick.Cloud with Lightspeed is the best option?
Cloudflare is not full page caching. Quick.Cloud is full page caching. Cloudflare for the basic tier, like I think like an year ago they released some plugin APO or something like that. That
Yeah.
was a full page caching, but even though still it was not tag based caching. Lightspeed cache and Quick.Cloud is tag based full page caching.
Okay.
Like it's intelligent in invalidating your invalid cache copies, because that's very important in caching.
Do you also install a load balancer upon deployment?
No,
Uh,
but if someone want, they can use Lightspeed Web ADC in front of Cloud Pages server. They will have to install it separately on a different instance.
I didn't understand this thing. These are too technical for me. Hopefully, the answer question Sarang will understand it. And also, no plans to include within Cloud Pages also, right?
Right now, if I'm honest, I have not thought about adding load balancer in Cloud Pages. But if more and more people request us, then we may add it.
Okay. What is the best combination to get website speed? Example, cloud base alter. Tell me the best. I think he's just asking for an opinion from your personal experiences.
Usually, I have noticed recently that people are only Like they are only paranoid about their GT metrics and page speed scores. So for example, if they got good page speed and page speed score, then they are happy. But the other day I was also reading a blog article from WB Johnny. Not sure if you
Good.
know him.
I follow
Uh,
him.
yes, he was also mentioning in his blog that
He
uh,
don't care about scores. He goes for the experience of loading pages.
yes, he also mentioned that users should not like they should not blindly start combining and CS
Correct.
and, and JavaScript file. Although that's not my field. He is more experienced in that field. But I think that people should also care about the overall server load. For example, with the LiteSpeed cache, they are getting a full page caching. So when there is a cache hit, servers need to do least amount of processing, because they don't the server don't have to fork the PHP process, and server can serve the page directly from its cache. So
Hmm.
I think if people optimize for that, they can host more sites on small servers. For example, on a $10 wheelchair droplet, they can host more sites if they also take care of that part. I'm not saying that they don't take care about their page speed scores, but that should also be taken care.
And also do check out WP Johnny, guys. I'm a huge follower of him. He's really good at what he does and he knows his WordPress stuff. Uh,
Exactly.
Another question is, I think we already answered. You buy the first code, redeem it, and you contact the support to redeem the agency plan.
Yes, you can redeem one code directly. We have also made a guide on how to redeem the AppSumo code. And then for the second code, you can contact our support.
Okay, the next question. What is the bandwidth limit if I add multiple websites to agency plan?
Yes, bandwidth. You have to ask about bandwidth limits from your provider. As I said, we are not an hosting company, so you have to check that. For example, DigitalOcean have like maybe I think 2-3 TB limits on their droplets. So we do not impose those limits. That's
So,
from the host.
so does not matter freelancer plan or agency plans. You don't impose any bandwidth limits.
Yes, because we don't sell hosting. They have to bring their own servers.
Got it. Got it. Uh, Last question from me. I think you cleared most of Sarang's doubt. He is the technical guy. Any thoughts on creating cloud clusters?
I would be needing like more details regarding this question, because back in 2019, I was working on OpenLiteSpeed at C code level. I was like trying to uh, do this sort of thing with Docker containers. But as Lightspeed has full page caching and it depends upon the disk, and with the containers, the disk is volatile. So at that time, I didn't continue that project. So I have to like need more details, like exactly what is he asking. If,
Okay,
if you,
Sarang, if you can provide more details because I have no idea what's going on right now, basically. Or you can ping them later if you have taken more in-depth one. Uh,
yes, you can
this
contact
is an
us.
interesting, important question. When do you guys sleep? And I think you've been online 24/7. And how big is your team?
Yes, Shoaib do sleep, and we are 5 people in the team. And by the way, thanks for the attention and care from Jacob.
I think we have been getting so many questions. I think that is our last. I'll wait for a couple of seconds if the Sarang comes back with a follow-up question. And you also shared everything you wanted to share right now, right?
Let me.
We are closing to the event finish. So if you want to share something, feel free to do it.
Yes, I was another point about the maintenance mode. The maintenance mode is the default WordPress maintenance mode.
Got it.
So if you enable the maintenance mode, that's the default WordPress maintenance mode will be enabled.
Okay. I think we covered all the questions. I don't see any other questions. And I think, do you have any final words you guys want to add to the session?
No, I think that pretty much is covered, and through this app Sumo and the LTD community, we got introduced to many great people, and it has been a good experience so far.
Okay, and one final question before I leave you guys. You have been answering a lot. I wanted to ask about vertical scaling. Is it already integrated in panel?
Scaling should be done at the provider level. For example, if they are scaling any sort of resources, so this should be done at the provider level. Like with Cloudways, they have to integrate on their end, because they are also integrated with the providers. But with CloudPages, they can bring servers from any cloud provider and do scaling at their end.
I think we covered all the questions, and really thank you so much, guys. And really, I think Usman was the one answering, and Soya was patiently waiting. And I think he's live chatting somewhere because he's 24/7, right? So he's doing that. And thank you so much for again to doing this event, and also wishing you good luck with your lifetime deal and also continuous development, because I have also personal interest, because I am also a customer for you guys.
Thank you, Elston. Thank you very much.
And with that note, I think it's in the ending. And if there's any other questions, this event will be recorded, guys. So if you missed out, all the questions will be with the jump points going into YouTube. So you can rewatch it anytime you want. And I will also, if there's any doubt, you can ask any questions in group or in YouTube channel. I will make sure it goes to the ears of Usman or Soyab, so they can answer the questions. Once again, thank you so much, everyone, and I'll see you guys in another interview. Take care.
Thank you. Take care. Goodbye.